class, let's settle down. Let's turn to page 123, please. Today's lesson is going to be about heroin. Yay! Okay, starting off, can anybody just tell me a little bit about heroin on their own? Christine?
Well, I heard it's used for fun.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I heard that it's a dangerous drug that can destroy your life.
You're right, Brianna. It is dangerous. Is there anything else that you might know about heroin?
Well, I heard that heroin is highly addictive and accessible.
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't it like illegal or something?
Yeah, you're both on the right track. Actually, it is. Heroin is very illegal. It's been illegal since 1924. It's also highly addictive, with results that release neurotransmitter dopamine in the brain. Okay, does anybody know what dopamine is? No? Okay, so dopamine is naturally designed in the body to control pain and enhance pleasure. Okay, a lot of people take that to help mask any pain that they're feeling. That's how they actually start off with the drug. It also involves a reward in the brain, causing reinforcement for drug taking over behavior. Okay, moving forward, Dana, can you turn to page 125 and tell me what heroin is derived from?
Okay, heroin is derived from the opium poppy plant, and according to this chapter, milky sap-like opium is removed from the pod of the poppy flower and then refined to make morphine. After that, the morphine is further refined into different forms of heroin.
Good. And since you mentioned the opium is the main source of heroin, Brianna, can you read me the history of heroin?
Sure. Heroin in the 1800s was thought to be a miracle drug. It was used to treat headaches, colds, and painful respiratory illnesses like pneumonia and tuberculosis. Back then, it was even sold over the counter.
Good job. As you look at the next page, notice how the drug dates all the way back to the late 18th century. So, let's see, Christine, let's have you jump in here. Can you summarize this section for the class, please?
I think it was made by Charles Barkley. All I know is that his name is really long.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's see. Can anybody else maybe help her out and explain a little bit more? Who made heroin? Go ahead, Dana.
Alright, according to the chapter again, heroin was first synthesized from morphine in 1874 by Charles Romney Alder Wright, but was not produced commercially until 1898 by the Bayer Pharmaceutical Company.
Okay. And Brianna, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I want to add that the Bayer Pharmaceutical Company marketed heroin to active morphine addicts as an alternative solution to their addiction.
Honestly, I was just gonna say that.
Okay. All right. Well, Dana and Brianna, thank you for all your input and reading that aloud to us. So let's move forward. Let's talk about how heroin is used today. What are the uses? Can anybody tell me how people, or that you know of people, in what ways they use heroin? Okay, Dana?
One method is called shooting up. So pretty much heroin users like to inject it into a vein because that's where they feel the greatest amount of euphoria. And it sometimes comes as a powder so that it must be mixed with a liquid before it's injected.
Okay, so since Dana talked about injecting, are there any other methods that you guys know of? Brianna?
Well, I heard that smoking heroin is another route, which refers to vaporizing heroin and inhaling the fumes rather than burning heroin and inhaling the smoke. A glass pipe is often used to smoke heroin, and but it takes a lot longer to feel that rush from the heroin though by smoking it. Not as fast as I think shooting up.
Yeah, that's more of an instant reaction. Christine, can you tell me another method you heard of?
Yeah, so I heard that some users also snort heroin. The user crushes the heroin into a fine powder and then they inhale it into their nose where everything gets absorbed through tissue in the sinus cavity and goes straight to their bloodstream. It also as fast as shooting up as well because it's going towards your bloodstream.
Awesome. All right, any questions anybody might have? No? Okay, so moving forward, we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you a little bit of a clip of a person that's actually addicted to heroin, just so you can get a better idea of what's going on and you get a visual. Okay, so before starting this video, can somebody get the lights for me, please?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you, Christine.
You want both on?
That's fine.
When I use drugs, I'll do it anywhere. When I need to do it, I do it. I've used drugs at my parents' house. On Christmas Day, I was in the bathroom. My sister walked in on me getting high. I didn't care anymore who saw me, who knew. I've attended 5 funerals for friends that have died of overdoses. One time, I used drugs before my friend's funeral. It was really crazy. The worst place I ever shot up was in a Narcotics Anonymous meeting in a church. There have been times that I've been homeless due to my heroin using. I lived with a drug dealer. It was a drug house. When you walk in, there's random people getting high. Using heroin has definitely put my life in jeopardy. I have overdosed 3 times.
Okay, can you turn the lights back on, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so what did you guys think about that video? Pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
As you saw in the video, it does really take over a person's life and the way their well-being is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn to page 129, and we're gonna read a little bit about statistics of heroin. Okay, Dina, can you pick up and read about that for us?
Okay, so I read that about 9.2 million people in the world use heroin. That includes about 1 million people in the US, and most of the world's opium supply comes from Afghanistan, as they make $4 billion exporting opium.
Brianna, can you pick up and tell me what else is mentioned in the book?
It says most heroin is sold as a white or brownish powder that contains other substances such as sugar, starch, and powdered milk. Recently, the more potent opioid fentanyl has been found mixed with heroin instead and is causing a lot of deaths.
All right, so after all the information we gathered today, is anybody even interested in trying this drug?
I don't know. I kind of want to try at least once.
Do you want to throw your life away?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Let's stay away from heroin and all other drugs, okay? Let's keep it clean, stay in school, and make good choices.
Let's go.
All right.
Hi kids, I'm here today to tell y'all a little about drugs. They can make you mad, they can make you sad, but either way they're just plain bad. So what are drugs, you ask? Well, I'll try to explain fast. There's substances that when you take, make you crazy or hallucinate. Now drugs can take on many forms, like a plant you smoke, or a powder you snort, or a pill you pop, or a stubborn shot. Think about drugs? Just stop. Drugs! The jig is up, addicts just can't get